As Mike said, my name is Mike McGee. I am the Technology Curriculum Integration Specialist, which is a fancy way of saying I help integrate technology in the classroom. I work with teachers, I coach them in the use of new technology, whether it be software or hardware. I help write curriculum, help them create innovative lesson plans. And I've been in education for 11 years. I've been in 4 school systems and about a dozen schools since I've been here in Newport News. And Point Option is by far the best and most innovative school I've ever worked at. I live in Williamsburg. I pay to get my kids to come here, and they're 10. But I'm already thinking about that. It's that good of a school. And I just want to talk about how we got there, because it's always been innovative, but we really lacked a couple of components that we have now. We are teaching for the future. This is where we were, and when I say where we were, this is 3-4 years ago, so not too distant future. Off the grid, we were literally off the grid. We were a Newport News school in Hampton. We were part of Newport News, but we weren't part of the Newport News network. Cox had to run a special network line out to our facility, which was a T1 line, so essentially students were logging in, and then 20 minutes later their desktop would come up. So it was a mess. Our computer lab was like 90 degrees. You know, we had to have fans set up all around. We had orchids growing in the corner and mold going down the wall. It was crazy. We had about, still, all in all, you know, we were successful in graduating about 20 or so kids a year. Our technology was that lab, which again was, you know, used on and off based on the heat, and projection screens. That was our technology. My first year, about 4 years ago, was my first year here. And my boss put me here half a day a week. And this was at this tiny little closet, this school. The hallway was basically at the length of this room. Teeny tiny little place set in the backwoods where I didn't even know what Point Option was when he told me to come here. I didn't know what it was. I had no interest in coming. He said, don't worry, they don't really use technology. I'm still here. Very little technology integration, still some innovation. So there's still some good ideas. They just didn't have the parts that they needed to make everything happen. So let's fast forward to where we are now. Where we are now is we have incredible technology available. We have about as many computers as we do students. We have 2 laptop cards. Last year I worked at, as well at Woodside High School, 2,100 students, about 4 laptop cards, 2 of which were for other programs. So we had 2 laptop cards available for free use for 2,100 students. Here we have 2 laptop cards for 80 students. We just wrote a grant, got 20 iPads. We just wrote another grant, got 15 GPS units. We have a smart board in every classroom. We have document cameras. We have 3 Sentio systems, which are the clickers. We actually have more Sentio clickers than we do students. So as Mike said, the school system has been very generous with us. I don't think they would have given us the tools to work with if they hadn't have seen some end result. We don't believe that you can just sit a student in front of a computer and say, we're using technology. Technology is not an end unto itself, it's a means to an end. So here's how we use it. We are heavily involved in the community. We go out and we clean up the beaches. So a couple of years ago, actually it was last year, I got together with a few students and said, wouldn't it be cool if we wrote a song? So we had 3 young ladies. One was an aspiring hip-hop artist, and the other 2 were accomplished singers. And they sat down with me, and we wrote out basically a song. And they wrote all the lyrics. I didn't write any of them. All I did is go out with them, film them, dub the music over, and we had a pretty cool end result. None of this is staged. This is us actually working out in the field, cleaning up the beaches. And we had a blast doing it. This is on our YouTube channel. All the lyrics are on there. Means to an end, not an end unto itself.
We owe us several former students who work in Haiti.
Last year we decided that when the disaster in Haiti occurred, we needed to do something about it.
I just hope that we can help in any little way that we can. I mean, it's never going to be enough, but it's just our little contribution. And basically, it's a life lesson for our students.
And in about a
schools
week,
plan to continue their fundraisers all this week
$900
and then give the money to the Red Cross
donated
next
that
week.
to the American Red Cross, and they came out with that big ceremony, and 13 News took notice. And again, we're going out to the beaches and cleaning up all kinds of nasty stuff, taking those videos, uploading them to YouTube, creating awareness. I don't know of any other school where students have this opportunity. I certainly didn't when I was in school. These are lifelong lessons that students can take with them when they graduate, things they can put on their resumes, things that actually change them as individuals, not just fill their head with information. So I've gone from half a day a week to 3 days a week. After my first year, I enjoyed it so much that I said to my boss, well, can I have more? I was thinking 1 day. He said, how about, we went from half a day to 1 day. Then we got some technology, we started doing some innovative things. He put me up to 3 days a week. My other 2 days are at the Juvenile Detention Center. So we have a school at the Juvenile Detention Center. So I'm working with knuckleheads all the time. But we actually work with a lot of cool stuff, and we're doing a lot of neat things with students that a lot of society have given up on. Really good kids, just miss their break here and there, and we're trying to get them back on their feet. We continue to lead and innovate, and we went from about 20 graduates to 61. So that's what we're on course for this year. So we tripled our graduation rate in about 3 years. That's pretty awesome. Where are we going? We're increasing our iPad usage. We're taking iPads out to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, and we're doing mapping on Google Earth. We're taking images and uploading them on Google Earth for the whole world to see. We're taking our GPS units going down to Yorktown, getting the map coordinates and seeing exactly where the early colonists were. We're taking trips out to the Great Dismal Swamp in our canoes, with the iPads. And students are downloading apps like field guides, and so they're going right down the Dismal Swamp. Teacher says, what's that tree? Oh, that's a white oak tree. What's that animal? Oh, that's a chickadee. Really neat stuff that is not happening anywhere else. We're continuing to innovate. We're integrating GPS and outdoor uses. Students just went on a big bike trip, about 80 miles round trip, and took their GPS tracker units with them and tracked the entire trip. And this is a quote that I came up with a few years ago, because this is my core belief. Technology is an enhancer, but it's not a replacer. You can never, ever replace the intimate connection between a teacher and a student. You can never replace that sight of seeing the light bulb come on in the student's head. That cannot be replaced. Technology in and of itself is not a panacea. It's cold and distant, but when you integrate technology with an innovative curriculum and with passionate people, this is what you get. So we think we're doing some really neat stuff here, and I wouldn't really want to be anywhere else. So we have a few minutes if you have any questions for either Mr. Bonfiglio or myself.
No questions?
1 minute.
Yes.
What did you say the qualifications to? This is not like a magnet school.
I can't say there's set qualifications. It's, are you on paper an average to above average ability student? Now, that might not be reflected in your grades from last year, but it might be reflected in your test scores. It might be reflected in the conversation I have with your counselor from 2 years ago, okay? Are you coming to school every day? Are you not coming to school every day? Some kids I see, well, he missed 50 days, but he got C's and passed his SOLs. I'm not really sure what kind of student he is. But then I sit down and I interview the student and the parent, which is a minimum of an hour that we spend, myself and my counselor, or just myself, with the student we interview and their parent. So now it's, what kind of feel do I get for them, and do they get for me and for this place, and is it a good match for the both of us? And it's basically the student decision and my decision as to whether they're going to come. If a student says, I don't want to come here, and mom goes, you're coming here, he's not coming here. It's the student's choice. Because if he doesn't want to come, or she doesn't want to come, it's not going to work. Okay? I might have students who'll come in with a parent, and it'll be the parent's idea to apply, and the kid will go, I really don't want to be here, because I can read the body language in a minute. And I'll go, you know what, just give me a few minutes of your time. And all of a sudden, they're like, really? Oh, you do this, you do that? Oh, that's kind of cool, you know? You want to go look around? Sure. Well, you know, I got to be in school anyway for 2 more years. This seems like a pretty cool place to be, you know? And I know the kid's interested in learning, because I can tell way back in middle school, he got good grades, he got good SOL scores. Something happened between middle school and high school. You know? Do you like to learn? Some kids like to learn, but they don't like to be in school. You know? So, you know, I mean, I was one of those, you know, a long time ago. I went to school for one reason. You know? put a helmet on and threw a football, you know? Not much else really interested me for a while. So there are kids out there that like to learn and enjoy stuff, but they don't like the school environment in a way. You know, like I said, we don't tie the rear end to the seat to what, you know, to me, the time your butt spends in the seat does not equate to time knowledge goes into your brain. You know, this is the only time in a human being's life where we're saying you got to learn at the same pace and do the same thing that everybody else does, or you're a failure. You know, and we do things a little differently here, and we see kids who thrive in that. It works. I wish everybody could do it. I really do. Because kids, once they get here, they don't want to leave. They do not want to go. We'll have 2, 3 kids a year say, you know, I want to leave. We had 2 kids that left. One was a state wrestling champion. One was a basketball player in Woodside. They were gone a week. My phone rang. Can I come back? Sure. Absolutely. I forgot what it was like. You know, I really can learn better in that environment. Yeah, there's still a place for you. So, you know, it's a whole bunch of things that go into that decision on both parts.
Thank you.
Very impressive. I'm amazed that this evening exists. I had no idea. So this is a great division.
Cool.
I understand.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, I just love it. And the kids do too, and it shows. It's
Yeah.
definitely reflective.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you for coming.
Thanks for letting us play.
Yeah.
Jam.
Jam.
Well, you know, there's all that right brain research that basically says the creative thing